The cover of the book is a photo of Florence. Does Transgressions take place in Italy?
Yes, in part, and Italy has a very special place both as a physical, geographical setting and also as a kind of palimpsest, as a kind of metaphor, as a kind of discourse through which Aldington and H.D. will speak to each other, will recall their travels in Paris, but particularly in Italy, and will recall the early days of their love. This is something that will continue throughout their lives, but that echoes and reinforces and serves as a kind of mirror throughout Transgressions itself. The novel is set in part in Pennsylvania, where Hilda grew up, in part in the southern part of England, near Portsmouth and Dover, where Aldington grew up, but predominantly in London, where both of them lived, but also during their travels. They made several trips to Paris. Two very important ones are recounted in the novel, and a very important, very long trip to Italy, beginning in the north, with H.D. and her parents in Genoa, where they are soon joined in Rome by Aldington, and then they continue together to Napoli, down the Amalfi Coast. Some takes place on the islands off of Napoli, and then north there are scenes in Venice and up near the lakes in the far north of Italy before, in fact, they returned to Paris. So Italy plays an extremely important role, as does Paris, as does England itself, particularly London, but then later in the novel, in part to try and escape the war pressures, they live for a while not in central London, in Kensington, but in Hampstead, and then they take the decision to move to Devon. And it is in Devon that they will negotiate the whole issue of Aldington's entry into the army. But Italy is always the other space, the other place, the place of their first young love, when everything lay ahead of them and life seemed, for a very brief moment, to be possibly perfect.